you know what this means. It is time for us to choose my December TBR together. But before we do that, we've got a little bit of housekeeping, okay? So first things first, I am filming on a brand new camera. This is my first time ever using it. I literally took it out of the box and we are going for it. Hopefully it looks and it sounds okay. I'm gonna learn how to use the camera in December because if you don't follow me on Instagram, you might not know, but in January, I am actually bringing my podcast, the Hustle Sanely Podcast, that I've had since 2019 here to YouTube. So you're gonna be seeing some more videos from me. They're not gonna be book related. They're gonna be peaceful productivity related. However, I'm still gonna be doing my monthly TBR video, okay? Like never fear, that is not going anywhere because this video right here brings me so much joy. It is my favorite type of video to watch, and of course I have the best time filming. Just expect to see more of me in 2026 here on my YouTube channel. Truly cannot wait, cannot wait. Okay, before we choose my TBR, I need to take a sip of this coffee while it's still nice and fresh. My husband made candy cane syrup. I don't have words. It is truly so good. Maybe an unpopular opinion here. I am not like a peppermint mocha person. I don't like peppermint mocha that much. Like I'll drink it if it's all that's available, but it's not like my go-to holiday flavor. Candy cane syrup, out of control, so good. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do to choose my December TBR. First things first, we gotta run it back. And we have to talk about my progress on my November TBR. So I'm gonna put a graphic up on the screen of how we're doing with my November TBR. So as you can see, the day that I'm filming this is November 26th. So we've still got some time. I've still got a couple of days to finish what's left of the TBR, and I am so confident that I'm gonna finish the entire TBR, which I am very proud of because it was a big TBR for me. I'm confident that I'm gonna finish it because tomorrow is Thanksgiving. Happy early Thanksgiving. Well, happy late Thanksgiving by the time you're watching this. But we're gonna be in the car for a couple hours on Thanksgiving, and so I'm gonna have time to finish my books. So as you can see up here on the screen, I feel like I had a very mid reading month. I had a 4-star, I had a 4.25, but I feel like the books that I read in November, like I just had higher hopes for them. And I don't want to say I'm in a book slump because I don't feel like I am, but a lot of books that I was really excited about, I feel like let me down. I finally read Quicksilver, and I'm not gonna lie, I did not like it at all. Like I don't plan to continue the series. Another one that really let me down was People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. Reading that book really solidified for me that I'm not gonna be purchasing any more of her new releases. I feel like Out on a Limb, which was a 5-star read for me, was kind of a one-off because I haven't enjoyed any of her other books, and People Watching was kind of like the nail in the coffin for that for me. I would say so far my standout reads for November, It's Different This Time, The Faculty Lounge, and Daisy Hates the Great Undoing. I really enjoyed them. And then I think Recursion has the potential to be my favorite out of the entire month. We'll see, I'm not done yet. I do post all of my reviews of each book that I read over on my Instagram stories, and I save them to a highlight. So if you're very interested to know my thoughts on each book that I read, I don't film monthly wrap-ups, but you can go follow me on Instagram and check out that highlight. But I do have very high hopes for Recursion. I'm not super far into it, but so far I am sucked in and it is so good. So, okay, that is the November TBR progress. Again, very proud of myself. I did read one other book in November in addition to the TBR that we chose together, and I will pop it up on the screen here. It's a nonfiction book, and we read it in my productivity membership that I run, and I actually really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the first half more than I enjoyed the second half, and I would say if you struggle with putting a lot of pressure on yourself in relation to pursuing your goals, it might be a good one to pick up to help you kind of shift your mindset into viewing pursuing your goals as more of an experiment rather than this like pressure-filled thing. You know what I mean? So that is my little spiel on how my November reading went down. Next up, we've got to talk about books that I've added to the TBR cart since we last chatted. There's a lot. Let me pull them off. This is a judgment-free zone, right? Right? Because this is kind of out of control. I will say a new bookstore opened, like an indie bookstore opened near me, and my husband and I went on opening day, and I went a little ham. And yeah, I mean, that's really all there is. These aren't all from that bookstore, but like 4 of them are. So yeah, we've got a lot to talk about. So we're gonna quickly run through these. There's an airplane. Okay, airplane's gone. So these are all the books that I have bought since we last chatted. And so do I normally buy this many books in a month? Absolutely not. Did I go a little bit ham last month because of the new bookstore opening? Yes, I did. I'm supporting small, I'm supporting local. I feel like I'm doing a good thing. You know what I mean? Let's run through these books. Actually, let's count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, that's out of control. That will not be happening again for at least a couple months. So I'm going to run through these. I'm not going to talk about what they're about, but I just want you to know what books have been added to the cart. I also did take some off. I did like a little declutter of my TBR cart, because some of the books I was looking at and I was like, I don't want to read you. I almost got rid of When the Moon Hatched, but I didn't because I know that I've been saying I'm going to read it. And so she stayed on. The books that I have added to the cart since we last hung out, The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. I've just been seeing this one a lot on Instagram, and the people who are saying they like it, I feel like they like similar books to me. So I added this one. We'll pop that one over here. I got Fahrenheit 451. Don't ask me why. I read this in high school and I vaguely remember it. For some reason, I was at another local bookstore and this was just jumping out to me. And so I don't remember if I liked it in high school or not. I just remember having to read it in English class. So we're gonna give this one a go as an adult. Next up, I got Good Spirits by B.K. Borson. I got the Target Special Edition. I for sure have to read this in December because it's my book club pick. So spoiler alert, but this is for sure going to be on my December TBR, whether we choose it together or not with one of the prompts today. Next up, I got Cover Story by Mahari McFarlane. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. I've read one other book by this author and I liked it, but I didn't love it. But the premise of this one really lured me in. Like I read the back and I was like, that actually sounds really good. The little blurb on the front is 2 office rivals, 1 secret mission. Now all they need is the perfect cover story. And Emily Henry has a blurb at the top. I mean, hello. I love an office romance. So I don't know. I'm going to give this author another chance, see if I like this one better than the other book that I read. So that's why I went ahead and picked this one up. Next one that I added was A Dark Forgetting by Kristen Cicerelli. I had this pre-ordered and it came in the mail. I read Heartless Hunter and what's the second one? Rebel Witch earlier this year and I loved them. Don't know what this is about, but I went ahead and ordered it since I liked those 2 books so much. This one was kind of an impulse buy and I'm not going to read it until next October, but I didn't want to forget about it. So I went ahead and bought it to have on my cart, and it's The Very Secret Society of Irregular Witches. I just saw so many people talking about it during their October wrap-up videos, and it just seems very cute, very up my alley, like cute for spooky season, but not like scary, because I can't do scary. So we're saving this for next October, but I thought I would show it to you because it is a new addition to the cart. The next one is, I don't even know how to say this, Eleanor Oliphant, I think, is completely fine. I've seen this book everywhere for years, and the thing is, I actually did start it years ago, but my library hold expired and then I just never like re-upped it, and so I never got too far into it and I didn't get to finish it. But I want to give this one a go because I feel like I hear people raving about this book. We're adding this one officially to the TBR cart. Next up is the new release that came out in November. And so I had this one pre-ordered and it showed up. So I added it directly to the TBR cart, and it's called And Then There Was You by Sophie Cousins. I've read a couple Sophie Cousins books and they are just so fun. I feel like her tone is just so light and witty, and like the books, they're really great palate cleansers. I fly through them. I have no idea what this one is about, but I'm excited to read it. Her books are also really fun to listen to. All right, I'm trying to speed this up. I bought The Academy by Ellen Hilderbrand. I've heard mixed reviews about this. I've never read an Ellen book before, but I just thought it was so intriguing because she wrote it with her daughter. And also I love any book that takes place in a school setting. So I was like, you know what? We're going to give this one a go. I don't exactly know what it's about, but the little blurb says secrets, rumors, and dangerous liaisons at an elite New England boarding school. They come with the territory. Bestselling author Ellen Hilderbrand teams up with her daughter to deliver a fresh and buzzy look behind ivy-covered walls. Sounds dramatic. I'm here for it. Okay, pause for a break. It is so hot in Florida. Like, I'm wearing a long sleeve to feel festive and cute, but it's so hot. I feel like I have to do this in every video. Also, how cute is my Kobo case? I made it in Canva. I'm obsessed. She's so cute. She's so cute. I'm so obsessed with my Kobo, by the way. Okay. Back to the books. So the next one I got, literally got this one purely based on the cover, like purely cover vibes. It is called Loved One by, I'm not sure how to pronounce the author's name and I don't want to butcher it. I truly do not know one single thing that this is about. We'll find out whenever I choose it for whatever TBR it ends up on, but how could I not get this book? Like, look at the cover, please, please. So going on the TBR card. Then we have two more. The next one is Hot Wax. I haven't heard anyone talk about this one. For some reason, the cover lured me in. I saw it at one of the local bookshops that I was at. It's by ML Rio. I've never read anything by that author before. The reason I picked this one up is because from what I remember reading in the summary on the inside is that it has to do with a daughter and her dad who is like very into like heavy metal music. My dad is also very into heavy metal music. Like I grew up listening to metal music because of my dad. He always had like people from bands coming over to the house to hang out. I feel like this is just going to be very reminiscent of my childhood. Maybe it won't be, I don't know. I haven't heard anyone talk about it, but I couldn't pass it up because I was like, a dad that's into metal, I gotta read it. The last book that I have added to my TBR cart since we've last hung out is The Everlasting by Alex E. Harrow. I've never read anything by this author and I don't read a lot of fantasy, but the cover of this one really pulled me in and I read the summary and it doesn't seem too daunting. As I said, I don't read a lot of fantasy, so fantasy can feel a little bit daunting to me, but this one just seemed really interesting. I don't remember what I read that it's about. Couldn't tell you, but we're adding this one to the TBR card. That took so long. If you're still here and you're still hanging, I love you. You are a real one. The last thing that we have to do before we break out the TBR jar is go over new releases that are coming out in December that I am interested in. There's only one, and it is In Your Dreams by Sarah Adams. This is the 4th book in the Win in Rome series, which I just adore the entire series. I'm so excited that we get the 4th book of the series this year because we got the 3rd book back in, I think, January. So how cool that we get 2 books in 1 year. Amazing. Love it. Won't be adding this to my December TBR because it doesn't come out until December 30th. But I wanted to put this on here as a reminder to let you guys know that this book is coming out in case you didn't know. Okay, go us. We did all the things that I wanted to do before we pick my December TBR. Now I did restock my TBR jar. It doesn't look like it because they all get stuck together when I fold them and fall to the bottom. There are 70 prompts in here. Some are repeat prompts of ones that we've seen before. Some are new prompts. And so I am so excited. I think we're gonna stick with picking 6 prompts for December because December is pretty full for me and so I don't want to overload my TBR and overwhelm myself. I would love to choose 6 books that I'm really excited to read and get through all 6 of those books. That's my goal for December. But yeah, like I said, December is just pretty full. My daughter's birthday is in December, so we're doing a little bit of traveling for that and we're also having like a birthday party for her. We're hosting a Christmas brunch for all of our friends. Work is pretty busy for me in December because I'm working on a bit of a rebrand for my podcast and my membership. So there's a lot going on. So of course, I'm still gonna make time to read, but I just wanna stick to 6 books so that I'm setting myself up for success. Because tell me it's not the best feeling when you come up with a TBR and you actually read every book on the TBR. Like it's so satisfying and I wanna set myself up for that feeling. So let's go ahead and jump in to our TBR jar and choose our 6 prompts. Let me make sure I only have 1. Nope, I feel like I have like 5. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, hold on. Okay, got one. That was hard. Okay, first prompt. A book with whimsical or magical realism vibes. Okay, wait a second. Wait a minute. Is Good Spirits? No, I feel like this isn't. This is whimsical, right? Probably not. No, wait. Fall in love with the ghost of Christmas past in this magical romance. From the New York Times bestselling author of Love Light Farms and First Time Caller. He's the ghost of Christmas past. She's not exactly Scrooge. Ghost of Christmas past, Nolan Callahan intends to spend this holiday haunting like every other. If that's not whimsy, like ghost, okay. I'm going for it. How perfect that the first prompt goes with the book that I absolutely have to read in the month of December because it's my book club pick. And also this is screaming December. Like, hello, I have to read this in December. So I'm very excited. That worked out so well. So the first book going on our TBR for December is Good Spirits by B.K. Borson. Perfect. I've read quite a few B.K. Borson books and honestly, I have enjoyed all of them. I've enjoyed some more than others, but I haven't ever read a book by her where I'm like, I'm not into this. So I'm excited to have that one on the TBR officially. So prompt number 2, a 5-star prediction. What a good prompt. We're off to such a good start. Okay, a 5-star prediction. Okay. A 5-star prediction. Okay, I'm gonna pull off a couple of options and then we'll discuss. Okay, I narrowed it down to 3. I could have probably pulled a few others, but I didn't want to overwhelm myself with options. So the 3 that I chose, the Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters, one of the new ones that I purchased. This one just keeps popping up from people whose recommendations I really vibe with. And so I think that I'm really gonna love this one too. Honestly, the summary doesn't sound that intriguing, but people who have read it said that they felt the same way, but the actual novel itself was so incredible. So I have high hopes for this one. I don't think I'm gonna choose it, but I do think that for some reason this is gonna be a 5-star. I've also had my eye on this one for a couple months now, Slanting Towards the Sea. I've heard that this is a very emotional read, and I love an emotional read, and also I just love the cover of this one too. So for some reason, I do think that this one is gonna be a 5-star as well. It says, spanning 20 years and one life-altering summer in Croatia, Slanting Towards the Sea is at once an unforgettable love story and a powerful exploration of what it means to come of age in a country younger than oneself. So this one I do think is gonna be a 5-star, but I think the one that we're gonna choose for this prompt is Alchemized. This book, I am not joking, weighs 5 pounds. This thing is an actual brick. Me just saying that I'm so busy in December and then I choose like the longest, heaviest book for the TBR. But you know what? That's okay. I am so excited to read this, and I have been since it came out, and I feel like I'm ready now. Am I actually ready? I don't know. If you didn't know, this is a Dramini fanfic retelling kind of a thing. I don't know. I'm very, very new to the Dramini fanfic situation. Earlier this year, I read Rose in Chains and I loved it. I still think about that book. And then I also read, I'm looking up at my bookshelf right now, The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy, and I didn't like that one very much, so I'm very intrigued. So I know this author, Sinlin Yu, I think is how you say it, they published something like a fanfic online, and you could only read it online, and now you can't get it online anymore, and I can't remember which one it's called. I'll put the name of it up on the screen. I never read that, but I know Manacled, is that what it's called? I don't know. People loved it. This is basically the version of that that's allowed to be published from what I understand, but I have just heard nothing but good things about this. I'm scared because I know it's very dark, and I've heard that I need to check the trigger warnings before I read it, which I absolutely will. So I'm telling you that as well. But I have to see what this is all about. Like, I have to. I can't wait another month to have this on my TBR. So this is gonna be book number 2, a 5-star prediction. And I think this is the heaviest book that I own. Like, it feels like a textbook straight up. What a contrast we have so far, let me tell you. Okay, let's add these 2 back to the cart and get to picking prompt number 3 here. I need to take a coffee break because my coffee is getting watered down. Okay, prompt number 3 says, most recent purchase. Okay, let me think. What was my most, I think this one. Yep. This was my most recent purchase. I actually just bought this one like 2 days ago. So I guess we are gonna give Eleanor Oliphant Is Completely Fine another go. Like I said, I started this one, it was probably a year or 2 ago. It was a long time ago, and I just never finished it before my library hold ran out. As I said, I have heard nothing but good things about this. So I'm very excited to add this to our December TBR. Got our first 3 books on the December TBR. We're halfway through. And with that being said, we're gonna take a coffee break. Also, while we're here, before I choose the last 3 books on my December TBR, if you are watching this before November 30th, I just had to let you know. I couldn't not let y'all know that my company, Hustle Sanely, all of our productivity tools, planners, journals, affirmation cards, sticky notes, notepads, all of it, 30% off. No code needed. It's our Black Friday, Cyber Monday deal. So if you're looking for a planner for 2026, if you want to support small, if you want to support my business, I would be so incredibly grateful. Like I said, 30% off everything, no code needed. And the sale is running through November 30th. I would love to send y'all a Peacefully Productive planner and a Peacefully Productive journal in the mail. So go shop the sale. Again, you don't need a code. You can just go to hustlesanely.com. I'll have it in the show notes for you. And I cannot wait to help you beat burnout and build a peacefully productive life. If y'all didn't know, that's what I do for like my day job. That's what I do for a living, is I own a planner and productivity company, and I have since 2018. And I absolutely love what I do. I'm so passionate about my work, and I would love to introduce you to living a peacefully productive life, and I would love to teach you how to hustle sanely. So go grab a planner for 30% off and get yourself ready for 2026. All right, let's choose our last 3 prompts for my December TBR, my last 3 books for my December TBR. A book with 4 words in the title. Okay, this is very specific. So 4 words slanting toward, oh, that's 4, okay. So let me pull them off and then we'll chat. Okay, I think I got them all. I might have missed one. So if you see one over there on the cart, shh, no you don't. So our options are Spark of the Everflame by Penn Cole. So a little fantasy vibe. Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. I'm already telling you I'm not gonna pick this. I've waited this long. This has been my TBR cart for a long time. I am reading this in June 2026. Please hold me to that. Even if I don't choose it for a TBR video, this is going to be a June 2026 read, period. Like, no excuses. So we're gonna put this one back. And y'all better remind me of that if I forget, okay? The next one is Don't Be in Love by Liana Sincotti. I also wanna save this one for the spring. This book just gives spring to me, so I know I'm not gonna choose this one. So we'll just pop that one back on here as well. And then the last 2, The River is Waiting by Wally Lamb. I've heard this is very, very sad. So I don't know if I can read this the same month that I read Alchemize, because I feel like I just don't have the emotional capacity, if I'm being so for real. So actually, we're gonna put this one on here too. Goodbye. And then the last one is Slanting Toward the Sea, which again, I'm very excited about this one, but I've heard it's just very emotional. And if it wrecks me, I don't know if I have it in me to be wrecked by this and this. So I think we're gonna put this one back. I think we're gonna go through, that was easier than I thought to narrow down. We're either gonna go with Spark of the Everflame or Time of Your Life. I kind of want to go with Time of Your Life. I don't know if I want to start another series right now because I have a couple series on here that I would like to finish before I start another one. So we're going to go with Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. To be honest, let me put this one back on the cart and then we'll chat. To be honest, I haven't heard very many people talk about this one, which is so bizarre because I feel like Jessa Hastings is so hyped up. People love the Magnolia Park series, but I haven't heard anything about this one. So I don't really know what to expect. I honestly haven't even looked up the reviews on Goodreads and I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to go into it, but we're going to add this one to the TBR. I know it takes place in the 90s. That's literally all that I know. So Time of Your Life, she wasn't supposed to meet someone like him. He wasn't supposed to be her undoing. Okay, so I really enjoyed Jessa's writing. I used to not, but it grew on me. I'm glad that you guys told me to stick out the Magnolia Park series because now I'm invested. Like, I am invested. I'm excited to see how I feel about this one. Also, I'm loving that all the other books aren't super thick with this bad boy in there. So we've got 2 more books to choose. All right, so let me pull our next prompt. Make sure I only have one. Okay. A classic. Okay. I did read Sense and Sensibility in November and I didn't like it, but a lot of people DM'd me on Instagram when I posted my review saying that they didn't really like it either. And people who read classics, they're like, I love classics. I read classics often, and that one, boring. And so don't feel bad. And I was like, okay, that does make me feel better. So I have options. I have Little Women, Fahrenheit 451, that's considered a classic, I think, right? It is considered a classic. So we have Little Women, which I'm so excited to read Little Women, but it is so thick. And I don't think I want to put it on my TBR with this one. So I'm going to choose between Fahrenheit 451, Pride and Prejudice, which is right here. And then I also have Emma back here. I'm gonna go with Fahrenheit 451 because I am intrigued. Like I said, I read this once in high school, and also I love that it's a shorter one. I'm really trying to set myself up for success with my December TBR, okay? So we're gonna go with this one, and the only thing that I remember about this one is that it has to do with a firefighter, but they burn books, I think. So I'm guessing the theme is censorship. Like I said, I read this in high school, which was a very long time ago for me. I graduated high school in 2008. I know. So yeah, Guy Montag is a fireman. His job is to destroy the most illegal of all commodities, the printed book, along with the houses in which they are hidden. Okay, so I am intrigued to see how this one goes. So we are going to be adding that to the December TBR. She's diverse. I am loving this TBR. I almost just put my hand in my coffee instead of the TBR jar. Oh my gosh, clearly I need to finish that cup of coffee. Okay, we have one more prompt to choose for our December TBR. Let me get down in here, pick a good one. Okay, make sure I only have one. Okay. Our last one. the next book in a series that you're reading. Okay, I actually like this. Knocking a series off of the TBR cart would be such a good way to wrap up 2025, don't you think? So, okay, the next book in a series. I could read Midnight Sun. I sure could. But this is long. This is a very long one, and I feel like reading this and Alchemized at the same time could be intense. So I don't think we're gonna go with that one. But I really do kind of want to. Like, I'm very excited to read this. Very, very, very excited. I honestly can't believe I haven't read it. I think I tried to read it when it came out. I just like wasn't in the mood. But I'm in a Twilight mood right now. So I'm like, wait, should I capitalize on being in a Twilight mood right now? So maybe we will do that. Or I could do Magnolia Park's Into the Dark. But I already have a Jessa book on the TBR. So I could do Midnight Sun, or I could do, wait a minute. Maybe I should do this one. So I won't be completing a series, but I read the first book of this, Scythe, either earlier this year or late last year. I can't remember. And I really did enjoy it. And I don't know why I haven't continued the series. I honestly think it's because I don't like the covers. I know you're not supposed to like judge a book based on its cover, but sometimes if a cover just doesn't call to me, I'm not gravitating toward the book. So I think I'm gonna choose this one. Even though I'd rather read Midnight Sun, I feel like I need to like keep the momentum going with this series before I forget what happened in the first one. Because I still do remember it for the most part. And so I feel like I need to keep on keeping on before I forget it. I just wanna make sure this is book 2. Yeah, I can't really tell you what this one is about because I don't wanna spoil book 1. But book 1, it's basically about population control. And so there are these people called scythes, I think that's how you pronounce it, and their job is to control the population by people. I think they're YA, so they're not like super over the top gruesome, but that book made me think a lot. And so I am excited to continue the trilogy. And so hopefully maybe I'll read this one in December and then finish the trilogy in January just so I can have it off my TBR cart. So there we go. We have, like I said, quite a diverse TBR for December. So we'll do a quick little recap. We have Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman for continuing a series. We have Fahrenheit 451 by Ray Bradbury, which is a classic. We have Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings for the prompt of forward title. We have Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine for the last book that I purchased. We have Alchemized. This is seriously so heavy. My wrist is like, where? We have Alchemized by Sin Lin Yu for a 5-star prediction. We shall see. And then finally, we have Good Spirits by B.K. Borson for a magical realism / whimsical vibe. So I am very happy with how this came together, and I'm very excited to read all these books throughout the month of December. If y'all want to see what I think about these books as I am reading them in real time, make sure you follow on Instagram because that's where I post all of my book reviews. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me while I chose my December TBR. Don't forget that Hustle Sanely planning tools are 30% off through November 30th. I would so appreciate your support for my small business. I love you guys so much. I appreciate you, and I hope you have the best day ever.